Okay. Hey guys, so sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that, guys. So just hopping on to do a quick message in my ear pods. These things here keep making me lose connection for some reason. So I'm not going to use them. Let me go get my headphones real quick. I'll be right back. I'm just going to get my headphones. Different pair. All right. All right. I'm so sorry, guys. If anyone is there, let me know if you can hear me. It says my microphone is on. I'll just wait a second to get some confirmation. Holy cow, what a pain. It's the energies. It's crazy. I had to like restart this 3 times to send out the message. I don't know what's going on with my earbuds. All right, guys, so I guess I'll just start. I hate to start not knowing if these are even working, but it says they are. Give it a minute, guys, see if anyone wants to come on. So I'm just going to deliver a message today. And a lot of us might be actually feeling it because when spirit is communicating a message with me, it's because I'm going through it personally. I'm seeing people in my outside world going with it. And what it has to do with is the outside environment. The outside world is not the cause of our distress. And it's a back to basic message. We know that we are sovereign unto ourselves. We know that we hold the responsibility for our own emotional state of being, yet we might find ourselves during high, intense energy pointing the finger or projecting on the outside, whether it be family members, kids, co-workers, social media, the news, people out there causing us distress. And what Spirit is saying is it's about taking emotional responsibility and being emotionally mature. Hey, Heather, good to see you. Can you hear me okay? I was using these, but it kept cutting out. If you could just give me an okay or not an okay, that I'm clear. Lately, I've been having mic problems. Hey, Lisa Peccinello, how you doing, hon? You can hear okay. All right, I had the better ones on, but they kept cutting out. So today, thank you so much. And please share out, guys, if you don't mind. And I'll pull you a quickie after, and I'll do some personals if I get anybody hopping on for donations, but we'll see what happens. So anyways, Spirit has been dealing with me personally, and I've been seeing it all around me with the distress of energies, intense energies, stressful energies, and it's always comes up during the holiday time. It's a whole kit and caboodle of joy, happiness, but there's also melancholy, sadness, loss, gain, all of it. And what Spirit is telling me is when the energies are intense, to obviously, and we all know this, it's a back to basic message about holding our center and not to project or deflect the energies within us that are coming out to be projected or blamed on the outside. I know in my own personal family, I've been seeing lots of that, and I can even find myself falling into an old thought form. So Spirit is just really wanting us to pay attention to how we're directing our energy and to sit with it instead of saying, oh, if that person didn't do that, or darn it, this always causes so much turmoil in me, or why is that person got to be that way? And why can't everyone just be peaceful and happy? Why does everyone always got to have a problem? Like, that's a biggie for me. It's like, I claim to want peace and happiness and balance, yet I've got these people outside of me always like having issues with something to me that seems like, what the is the matter? But what Spirit said is those people or those scenarios and those situations are still not the ones causing those questions within me, or the distress within me, or the instability or imbalance or unpeace within me. Spirit is saying, and before I got cut off on the last one, was saying, we are all called to be masters. You guys are all masters in a certain realm of energy that your soul came to experience. And that mastery lies wherever your struggles and challenges and distress is. As you learn to navigate through the hologram, through your own projection of deep, deep energy, cellular memories, pain, loss, unforgiveness, prosecution, persecution, what was that word? Martyrship, victim, all of that energy. We have energies deep, deep, deep within us. And those energies do come outside as a reflection, but what they're saying is they're not the cause of our distress. They are our classroom. So the distress, whenever you find yourself distressed by energies outside of us, they are a classroom, a gift, a trigger for us to go within and just feel through the emotions that are triggered within us. Not to blame. It's not a blame game. It's not their fault. It's not what they do. It's not who they are. They are simply the placeholders, the placekeepers, the game pieces in your own mastery. They are allowing you to step into your mastery through the classroom of the outside projection hologram. What's it called? Hologram? And the reflection is our energy projecting out. And sometimes we get caught up in the projection. We're living on the outside instead of going within and simply allowing those energies to play out. And as they play out, and as we sit in our center, thank you, Heather, as we sit in our center, in the center of the storm, the center of the distress, the center of all that's going on before us, we reclaim our power. We take emotional responsibility. We are the masters as we sit in our emotional maturity, is what Spirit is saying. And I even find myself reining in the ropes or the harness, where sometimes I want to just say, what the is wrong with you? But that's not the case. So at least I have the awareness to see and catch myself, and then just bring it in. And a lot of us, I have noticed right now, are super duper heightened sensitive over things that isn't even to do with them personally. And I realize, because I have a lot of sensitivities, if I see, say, babies or kids or young ones not being taken care of properly or being abused and that kind of thing. But I know that it's not necessarily that outside thing that's making me feel that. It is a memory deep within me, and Lord knows what timeline, but it is an energy within me, a deep cellular memory that's coming into remembering through the outside that is causing me to heal that. And the healing is simply allowing that, allowing the crying, or allowing the emotions that are felt through that trigger, through that reflection, through that outside distress, through that struggle, through that challenge. It is my classroom, and giving me an opportunity to clear energy within me. And that's simply allowing the emotion. It's no one's fault. And that takes great emotional maturity. It's no one's fault. Nothing on the outside is anyone's fault. They and everyone and ourselves, for others, are holding space of an energy to be reflected back. And we take back our power. We reclaim our power. We claim our mastery as we don't react or don't project or get caught up in the outside. The outside is just the classroom, just like a kid going to school. It's not their home life. It's a classroom that they go to. It is a space. It is a hologram they go to learn, and then bring it back into their personal world, if that makes sense. Oh, sorry. I heard somebody out there. Is that making sense to you guys? Or do you have anything you want to say on that? So people that play a really, really, really strong victimhood, and we know that is to be played out for a reason, but they feel like a victim because they're giving away their power in some way, shape, or form to something outside of themselves. All of our power is in holding our space within, and anchoring into who we are, in staying centered in our heart space, allowing all the winds of change, the intensity, the fireworks, the quote unquote wars happen outside of us. As we remain stable and don't play the blame game, we reclaim our power. And then that's how that outside changes. It is a classroom that enables us to see a deep energy within us that's coming to a balance, coming into balance. It's healing. It's releasing, and then that creates space for more light to come through us, more light to be projected, and then our world changes. Something else Spirit was saying is, how do I say this? Nothing outside of you is used for justification of how you feel. The outside is just that energy, that classroom, to allow yourself to release or to confront or to balance or to heal. Healing is just coming into balance, anyways, and energy within. Heather says, yes, outside triggers can serve as a platform for internal healing. Yeah. But sometimes we still, when it's close, and I can even find myself slipping into that, wanting to blame them for my unequilibrium. Is that a word? Unequilibrium? Or playing that victim, like, oh, I just want peace, and blah, blah, blah. So it's just a back to basics, where Spirit wants us to just be conscious, just to be conscious of what thoughts are going through us and how are they matching how we feel. So taking ownership, emotional responsibility and maturity of the thoughts and the emotions that you're embodying. And as you can allow yourself to feel through those, then space is created for more light to come forth. And whenever we have big changes in seasons, like the solstice or the equinox, or these portals and these full moons, that's when energy really intensifies, and the shadows and energies behind the scenes playing out are really being projected before our face, in our face. Hey, Conchetta, thank you for joining. So I'm going to pull a actual conscious card and just see what Spirit wants to deliver as a collective. I have this new deck, and it's about, it's actually entitled Conscious Spirit. So just to elaborate or to bring forth some greater insight on what I just was sharing, I'm going to pull a Conscious Spirit Oracle. What is being brought into our consciousness now that we're dealing with? And these are just back to basics. But a lot of times, when you start a new year, there's always a review in school. Like the beginning of the year is easy. It's review. But then you go a little deeper into that subject matter. And that's what Spirit is saying right now, what we're doing. We're going a little bit deeper into a subject matter, a back to basics, a subject that we already know about, but we're going a little deeper, because as you are stepping more and more and more into your mastery, and you are living from that mastery, and mastery again is that soul experience, your soul's path, that it came to master a certain subject matter of how the energy is working. And the only way to master it is to allow yourself to go through it in this classroom. The classroom will let you know where your mastery lies. Where is your greatest distress? Where are your greatest challenges? Where are your greatest struggles? Well, that is where your mastery lies. So we're just going a little bit deeper into a back to basic subject, simple math, and just exploring that a little more and bringing it to a more conscious level, which is empowering. Because the more conscious we are, the more empowered we are, because consciousness is awareness of the energy. It is a higher frequency truth that you are bringing forth. All right, let's just say, shoo. All right. All right, Spirit, what do we got going here? Energies are really weird, okay? I just been feeling they're really weird lately. Really weird. Like, it's like going in and out of timelines, and I'm sure you guys are feeling that. It's like, oh, you're going into the old Christmas season, the traditions, the feel good, the things that bring the happy memories. Then all of a sudden, I enter a little wormhole, and then I'm like, oh my God, I don't even want to be part of this. Just let it be done with. So very extreme, contrasting intensities of energies. But what that is doing, it's bringing forth a huge balance. Just like this cross, it's bringing forth a greater balance and creating more light. And that light is releasing energies of density. And density is based in old thought forms, old beliefs, old paradigms, old expectations. For me, I notice this season's about releasing expectations big time. What's Heather say? Yes, back and forth. Yeah, and weird, but intense. And it can flip. The switch can be like this. And you know when the switch flips the quickest? It's when I allow and I don't start getting caught up in the outside projection. I just take a breath in. I hold strong and still and anchored. Hold myself back and just observe, feel the emotions. And then all of a sudden it takes me to this space. So it's just allowing yourself to process. And sometimes that space doesn't feel comfortable. So what we want to do is we want to channel those energies in attacking or blaming or justifying how we feel through somebody else's actions. And what Spirit is saying is no justification is necessary. Just allow. No fingers pointed, no blame game. Anything in your reality is simply a classroom for you to step into your mastery, to anchor into your heart space, to equalize and allow those emotions that have been dormant for a long, long time. So the back to basics messages always take us to a deeper level of consciousness. And what we have here, the back to basics, the conscious spirit card oracle is bringing forth meditation. That's funny. I just meditated too earlier before I came on. I haven't been really into my active meditation. My running normally, it's really like invigorating, enlightening, and I just haven't had it in me and just kind of tired. And so I just I went to the gym, but I didn't run. And then I had lunch and I just laid down and I meditated to a Pleiadian, meditation, like for an hour. So it's about meditating, and meditating is creating that space where we're connected to our higher self. The higher awareness, the higher consciousness of who we are, the totality of who we are, not just what's being played out on this 3D reality. Meditation is connecting to the more conscious part of us, our higher self, the angels, the spirits, our guides, whatever you want to name them. They're still all pieces of us. So what it says is, I meditate daily to allow universal wisdom to flow through me. So it's about being still. It's about being balanced. It's about allowing the spiritual and the physical to merge. It's about allowing what we see happening outside of us and going within the meditation to find the deeper truth of it, the higher frequency truth and information. Because all truth is real. All truth is truth for those that believe in that truth frequency, that resonate to that truth. So it's about connecting and resonating to higher frequency truths by going within, meditating upon what just happened, or what you're questioning, or what your distress is, or what is before you. It's about taking a step back and going within and allowing that higher, let's say, voice consciousness to communicate with you, a higher communication with that pain deep within, with that timeline deep within, with your God self in a timeline where you're totally healed to communicate with you. And that's what I'm feeling that it's about right now. Spirit is saying the meditation is about communicating with a God part of you that is already healed. And then you find your answers. Then you find your aha. Then you find your higher consciousness. Then you find, helps you to make sense. It makes sense of what's going on. So it's about meditation. I meditate daily to allow universal wisdom to flow through me. So in the meditation, you're in a state of allowing, and there you're connecting with your God self. And then that helps you through, that's funny, it helps you through the storm. Look at that. This is like a storm of clouds. It helps you to rise above, and it's freeing. See the wings? It's freeing. It opens you up. It creates space for your light to illuminate with you. This looks very similar to you. This is like your spiritual self coming to the earth to merge. As you connect and as you balance, you illuminate the darkness. Same here. As you connect, as you meditate and go within for your answers, you rise above the density. You're connected to the infinite universal wisdom of pure love, light, God, source, energy, and that frees you. It frees the victim. It frees the density. It frees you up to be more embodied in your light in the 3D still. We still have 3D picture here. We still are part of Earth here. So it frees you up to illuminate and to live in the 3D, holding more light, holding more wisdom, holding more truth, which is always more freeing. That makes sense, guys? All right. One other one, because what I'm really, really feeling is when those really, really deep, intense emotions come up and they seem even stronger than they should, we are dealing with a timeline that is being brought to our present moment. So I'm going to pull a galactic. I just want to see how this relates to this card. And those watching now or later, this is a galactic energy. There's past, present, and future parallel. And all time exists now, but when we get really, really intense and really, really triggered and feel betrayed and feel like we're taking a personal attack of something that's helping outside where it really feels personal, even though it's not, it's because you are healing a energy on a timeline where you really were living that energy. And it's still held within your cellular memory, but you're living it now in order to clear it. All right. Let's see. So what do we get to say about that? All right, this one stuck to my fingers. So it's the past. And right now, a lot of us, it's the Zeta Reticuli, the past. Linear thinking. That is what is changing. Hold on here. Linear thinking. I'm going to read it in a second. But that linear thinking, what it does is it bounds us. It makes us in a box. So what we are breaking through right now is box thinking, linear thinking. It's got to be A, B, C, D, E, and go through that kind of, this is so unbelievable because this just relates to an image I have. It's not linear. We're everywhere all at once. It's circular. You're in the middle and you're able to connect to all of these parallel U's by just like in the circle, you're in the center where my nose is, and it's not a line. It's like a space, a space, a space. I was just thinking about this today that like, holy shit, 10 years have gone by, 20 years have gone by. Caleb just turned 30 years old, my son. And I'm like, holy shit, it seems like yesterday. I remember being induced, being late. They had to have the forceps. I remember it like it was just yesterday. And I'm like, can it really be 30 years? And what we're going through right now is we are really breaking through the barriers of linear thinking that keeps you in bondage. It makes you also tied into all the linear laws that also go along with that linear thinking. Age, you're getting older, you're going to die. You're getting older, you're going to get all decrepit. You're going to lose your whatever, all the age things that are related to age in the past. You've only got so much time left. You're 50 years old. You only got, maybe a good 30, 40, hopefully 40 years left, 40 years left or what have you. What does that all do? It causes distress. It causes panic. It causes anxiety. It creates a false idea of time. Like, shoot, it shrinks you in here. It shrinks you in here instead of letting you know it's all available. It's all available as we release that boxed in linear, almost looks like a chained thinking. Because I'm even thinking, oh my God, like then my younger ones, like, oh, they're getting so old, and just like, and then getting in that thought form. And holidays will do that sometimes because you see all the old pictures and the magic and Santa and, all those things that we go through and created traditionally, and expectations of holidays and crap. And I don't mean crap in a negative way, I just mean all that stuff. And then as it leaves you, then you're like, oh my God, and pretty soon I'm just going to be out of this world and they're going to be all grown up. And then pretty soon it's going to be their generation and none of this is going to exist. So you can get into those kind of thought forms that are really limiting. So we're changing that. The 32 to me is saying we are changing the idea of linear thinking and knowing it is more of an expansion out, and we're in the middle, and we can cross and tune in and tap into all of these. That means either healing, also healing what you might consider a past timeline, something that you've been focused on another time that seems like past, or to a time where you're all healed. So you can also connect to a timeline where you're healed and everything is balanced and in order. So we are breaking through linear timelines, and meditation will do that. Meditation frees you up. It connects you to your God higher self. And then you time travel, then you astral travel, then you connect to thought forms that are outside of linear thinking. And it keeps you on just this one little pad. But what this little like rug, this little guy's on a rug. But also what I'm thinking is, as we break through this linear thinking, we're actually going to be riding on a magic carpet. We're going to be riding on a magic carpet that helps us to time travel, that takes us to places of other forms that were existing. All right, so let's just see what that says. Zeta Reticuli. And that's number 32. Just want to, these are all new too, these Galactic Heritage cards. So I like to read the actual message, but very interesting. So meditation will open up our consciousness, free us up from this linear thinking that keeps us in a box, keeps us in bondage, keeps us tied into all of the Sorry, guys. I don't know what is going on lately. I guess I'm going in and out of this dimension. All right. All right. What? Okay. I'm good now. So the Zeta Reticuli linear thinking. So what we're doing is we're healing the past thinking, the limitations, and all that keeps you boxed in with linear thinking. How freeing is that? When beings stop themselves from feeling emotion, especially fear, and resort to only logic to navigate through reality, reality becomes very limited. And that whole linear time does conjure up all of those fears of getting old, of dying. What are you going to do with your children? And if you have special needs children, and where are you going, and how's your health, and how you going to, I don't know, retirement, or how are you going to be provided for, and all of these fears. That's what linear thinking does. It is fear filled. It says new ideas that don't. Okay, so then we get in the head, and then we just try to operate from that outside projection. And that goes back to the beginning of my message about us being controlled, our emotions, and thinking that out and giving our power over to the outside, which is all also built upon and created from this linear thinking. New ideas that don't conform to the formula of linear thinking are rejected without exploration. Yeah. So in the past, oh, time travel. Oh, that's just fantasy. They're rejected. Oh, meditation. You're really getting answers. You're really time traveling. You're really connecting to God's self. There's still skeptics on all that because they're basing their life on the outside, and the outside isn't even real because it's a projection of who we are and where we are energetically at the moment and all that we're holding on from all of those other timelines. It's just our classroom. All right, I'll read this. This card recommends that you look at your patterns of limited thinking and see how they restrict the experiences you have in life. Let yourself begin to think outside the box and explore new ideas that previously seemed impossible. The Zetas had to do this in order to heal their species, and most likely so will humans. Why start? Why not start now? So, yeah, so that's what we're doing. We are healing our human race by how they had to do that to heal theirs. So we're still holding those past energies or vibrations within us. We're holding that energy and we're healing and breaking free from that linear thinking. And how do we do that? Through meditation, through imagination, through exploration, through fantasizing. Because a lot of people think that's wasted time and not real, but actually, that is the very thing that is creating our experience. Yeah, sorry about that. I disappeared. So Caleb says linearity is time-based and time is very restrictive. Yeah, because then it even takes away the idea of living forever. We're eternal beings. And if we can only believe what we see, then that really even limits our eternity. Then you have to have that faith or that hope. And that's why there's religions, and that's why there's all these other belief systems to help us through that as well, to give us the faith and the belief and the hope in the afterlife, because we can't really believe in the afterlife if you can't experience it. So it's getting out of all of that, even though we are experiencing it. And obviously a lot of you guys are open and you receive spirits and loved ones and all of that. But in the past, or you were crazy if you saw spirits or angels or people were talking in your mind, you were crazy. All right. So yeah, these two cards go perfectly. So meditating, giving yourself that time to live outside the box, to free your mind, to free your logic, to be above the physical reality. Look at that. It's just so beautiful. You rise above by allowing yourself to meditate or go in those no time zones. You guys all know that when you're in the zone, you're in the no time zone where you're immersed in what you love, and it's like only been a second. Well, that's how I really feel with life sometimes. Like I really realize, like, it can't be 30 years, or it can't be 20 years ago, or it can't be 10 years ago, because in reality that is all false anyways. There is no linear time. So that's why it feels weird, because it's not the truth. All right, guys, if anybody shared out and would like a quickie, let me know. We place limitations on ourselves with the concept of linear time. Yes, and linear time is fear-based. Even coming to the Christmas day, it's linear. We're coming to Christmas. We have 7 days left. We better get this shit done. And it's like everything on linear time, I am realizing, or a lot of it, is fear-based, and the fear base is in lack, shortness of time, shortness of experience, shortness of days, limited in a box. So of course that's going to cause distress, because it's not true. And anything outside of you, this is related to the beginning of today's message, anything outside of you that's causing distress is because you're believing in something that is not true. That person having power over you causing distress, their way of life over you causing distress, no, it's not true. No one has power. There's no power outside of you. We're just creating the classroom in order to step into our mastery. All right. Thank you, Conchetta. I've been kneeling. Now my knees are going to be stiff. All right. So if you shared out and want a quickie, let me know. Good. Thank you, Lisa Peccinello. And
And I'm sure you guys have all been fascinated with the idea of time travel. I, since a little kid, or since I can remember, loved it. Like, Back to the Future, and how cool would that be? And then that series Manifest that I watch with my older daughter, Chantel, and just that concept. And it excites us because it is true. It might be portrayed a little differently, but the idea of time travel is true. That's why it's exciting. But once you get into this and constrict it and like, time's ending, I'm getting old, I don't have enough time, or even the days of the week are all linear. They're all linear. Everyone lives with the weekend. Then they start getting maybe even a little stressed out come later Saturday or Sunday, because if they're in a job that they don't necessarily like, or they're living in a linear way they don't necessarily enjoy, or whatever, they start getting stressed out and anxious. And then thinking, or a project, I got so much time to complete this project. So when we really come to our now and we we rise above the density and the 3D limitations or restrictions, and we enter that space, it's like we really enter a space where there is no time. Like, when they say you have writer's block, or you can't solve a problem from the same energy that it was created. Well, when you meditate or you release that, and you go into that no time space or meditation, or whatever that place is where you're in the zone, it frees you up to the answers. And that's what that meditation card was also about, freeing you up to receive the answers, because you've released the linear way of thinking. When you go into meditation, you're like in a state that's semi here and semi not. So it frees you up, it lightens you up, it connects you to your higher self, it connects you to that universal wisdom that is not contained in time. Very powerful. All right. So I don't see too many people here, but I'll stick my PayPal up just in case someone wants a more in-depth personal. Otherwise, I will be doing some quickies, either the conscious spirit or a galactic, whatever I'm pulled to, unless you guys say you want a galactic card or you want a conscious spirit card. Let me know if you prefer or have a preference. And then I'm just going to go into comments, go to more. Hold on here, guys. Post. I just stick my PayPal up if anyone feels to make a donation. It's open donations if you want a more thorough reading or have a question. So for sharing out, I'll do a really quickie single oracle card, and for any love donation, I will do a 3-card spread. Stick that there. So I saw that. All right, so Heather, whatever you're drawn to, and I think Lisa Piccinello, Conchetta. Hey, Suzanne Dubose, yes, please. Jesus Mother, what's that supposed to mean, Caleb? I would love to be Jesus's mother. I love to have Christ be totally open and connects. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. So my son Caleb, and he just turned 30, he just said Jesus mother. So that's beautiful, because we are here to connect to that Christ within, that universal love, that flow, to give birth to that Christ consciousness that we are. How awesome. So thank you, Caleb. I'd love a quickie. All right, Lisa Piccinello first. Shoo. What's Lisa need to hear? Lisa, I don't know. I was just drawn to the conscious spirit cards, so we'll do that. So today's huge message is nothing outside of you has power. You cannot justify your emotions based on something outside of you, whatever is happening. And when you are feeling distressed or challenged or struggled, that is where your mastery lies. It's just your classroom. It's just revealing an energy within yourself. Can't go to a mirror and change your face. No, it happens within. You got to smile from within or frown from within. You got to make it happen. Your muscles, your thoughts, your mind. You can go to the mirror and try to point up your corners of your mouth and make yourself look like you're smiling. But now how hard you try, even if you draw lipstick on the mirror, it's not really real. All right, Lisa, what we got for you is transformation. How beautiful. You are going through a huge transformation. Look at that tunnel, that representing even like the cocoon, being in the dark, but then that light showing you the way out. You're holding the light. You hold the light. The light is you. There's no separation between that light and you. So you are on a journey. You're going through this tunnel right now. You're going through a huge transformation. Look at the wings. Almost looks like bat wings in a little bit. And to me, the bats fly around in the darkness. So to me, it's being freed of some deep fears that are being kind of transformed now, being brought into the light. Some fears like bats come out at night. Night represents the unconscious. So to me, you're going through a huge transformative process, transformation regarding the fears, and they can be based in linear time based fears. It says, I journey within to meet my higher self to find true happiness. How beautiful. You just affirmed the whole message of today's live, Lisa. You just held space, presented this card as an affirmation for all of us. We're all going through a transformation. We're all releasing our fears. They're all being brought out before us, but they're not the cause of our distress. They're not the cause of our fears of what's happened or what we see before us. It is a result of the fears within us that we are releasing, that we're acknowledging, and they're not true. Remember, anything that feels like shit and is fearful and limited and feels like you're chained to a wall, that's not real. It's just something in our unconsciousness, most likely, that is being brought conscious to have this transformation. It is to do with to me, that 3 represents expression as well. Expression, speaking, expressing. The transformation has something to do with an expression within you. You're transforming, overcoming a fear of some self-expression, who you are. And I'm not saying just speaking, your beingness, your entire beingness, being in your body, the expression of being in your body and showing that. So you are transforming some unconscious deep fear within, and that's being transformed as you journey. Very beautiful. You're extremely powerful, Lisa, and I thank you for your journey. Heather Graham. All right. Love doing readings. Hey, Tino. I love doing reading. I love these new cards because they're simple to the point, but they're higher consciousness as well. 2 popped up. Who am I on? Heather Graham, I believe, back there. Heather Graham, yes, please. 2 popped up. So you also got the collective card of meditation, and that frees you up from linear thinking. It's your escape from this 3D reality, this constructs that seem real before us. So you did get the meditation card as well as the collective, Heather. But let's go and see how it pertains. Air elemental. I embrace the element of air and am open to all knowledge and wisdom. And I'm sure this is affirmation. So through your meditation, through you communing with your spirit within, shutting off the outside, closing your eyes and going within and connecting within, you are releasing this deep well of freedom within you to be expressed in your physical world. It's a 9 elemental. So air, I can't remember if you said if you're an air sign, but air shifts, it moves. You need it to breathe, to fill your lungs, and you take in oxygen, release carbon dioxide. And it's that shifting and sharing, a giving and receiving. So I'm feeling there's a giving and receiving of energies, but it's light, it's airy, it's not solid like this. So I'm feeling that there's a lot of expression and exchanges of energy going on within you due to your own meditation, your own communing and communicating within. But this is happening on the outside of you. An exchange of energy, total freedom. Wow. Dancing and swirling. And the air changes quick. So it's just saying when things are changing quick, when the air changes, the weather changes, the scene changes quick, always just go within for your stability. Go within and meditate, connect within. It's just because air changes quick, the winds change fast and it brings on all sorts of weather. So when you're going through these changes, just stay centered and you're in connecting to that higher self, your higher consciousness. It's always available to you, your God self. And they're both wing rising above the solid density of earth. And then that is also, it's freeing you. When you go to meditation, it's going to free you from the whirlwinds. And then you're going to just flow. You're going to be like a bird gliding. So birds take advantage of the, what's it called? Airstream, the currents, the wind currents. So they want you to do that as well. You're going to take advantage of whatever changes are happening around you. And they're circling the sun. This big wing is circling the light. It's circling the sun. It's circling a portal. So it's about you going with the flow as well, going with the currents of the wind. And when something seems a little bit hard, it's about you living in a constant meditative state as well, being in this state all the time. You don't have to be laying down, or you don't have to be in a yoga pose. You don't need to be consciously be meditating to meditate. I think there's a message here that you are meditating all the time. You're always connected to your higher self through the winds of change, and you're allowing that to be your guide. So very beautiful, because that's what you're allowing, life and the winds of change and everything before you, and the currents and the flow. You're merged with it in that it's a meditative state for you, in the breath and the exchange of energies in your world. That's meditative for you. You contemplate it. You're reflecting. It shows that you're not reacting. You're reflecting and you're going within, and you're in a meditative state as you're exchanging energies with your world. And that keeps you light and free and with the flow. Susan DeBose. All right. I don't know why. Let me look at these. This is a galactic. Glad I popped on. It frees up energy. When I deliver messages, you guys are literally freeing up energy within me. It creates space because you guys are all reflecting energies within myself. And when you get a message or wisdom or insight on it, it frees it. It's beautiful. That explains why I always feel better after, because you guys are doing all the work for me. All right. Zeta Reticuli. Another Zeta, but that's present. So this is a present timeline that you are dealing with right now, Suzanne, and it's renewed hope. And that is a 16, which is a 7, which is the number of divinity. Connecting to your divine, connecting to your higher truth, connecting to your individuality, connecting to the divinity within you, that will always bring renewed hope. There's nothing outside that will bring us the hope that we feel through our own connection with our God source energy. And things on the outside that do give you that hope, it's a reflection of that hope that you connected to. It's that affirmation. So Zeta Reticuli, I'm going to read that real quick because I don't know these cards. I give my input and then I go and read it for a second. Hold on here. Where's that little booklet gone now? This one? No, that's Conscious Spirit. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. 79 for Suzanne. It's starting to get dark out. And then the whole, just everything, just that pressure of time going by. Just we're releasing that. Even getting dark out, another day done, less time. It's all fear-based. Okay. Here we go. So this is for you, Suzanne. Renewed hope, present. This is a present timeline that is affecting you now, which also, to me, when you get the present cards, shows how in the moment you are, how in alignment to your soul's purpose, not that you're not with the other ones, just it shows me that all the focus is in the now. So you are renewed hope. When a crisis passes and we are no longer deep in fear, there is a sense of relief. It feels like a new dawn has arrived and the future is filled with hope. This is where the Zetas are emotionally in this era. Their species crisis has passed and they're feeling a new dawn rising. And I believe that's what we're all going through. We're going through this new dawn, this transformation as a whole on earth. And we're being released of the fear, the limitations of time, the limitations of linear time, and all of that holds. This message for you is to see each moment as a chance for a new dawn. Oh, that makes me feel so good. Nothing in the physical universe is constant except change. With each change comes the potential for beauty, joy, and growth. Don't let the moments of your life pass without noticing them as the doorways to awakening begin now. How beautiful, Suzanne. So maybe in the past you have struggled also with the fear of time, or time running out, or crisis, and dealing with it and overcoming it. And it's just saying that, wow, every moment is the opportunity. And we all know this, it's a basic, but to have this card too, it is reassuring. It like opens up my heart and it's peaceful. It literally feels like emotionally freeing. It makes me want to cry. It's just beautiful. Every change is a doorway for new opportunities. So if you're going through some changes, if you're going even through some sadness of shutting a door, just know that that door was shut to open up a new dawn, a new day, a new beginning, a new journey, a new cycle. And because time isn't linear, and you're here, and say that other door was here, but now you're going over here, you can still cross that energy. That energy still feeding you back and forth, even though it's not even back and forth. It's there. Your part of you is there, and you're still receiving, giving, and taking that energy, but it's aiding you now as you open a new door. That was Suzanne Cachetta. Hey, Ward, how are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, I felt it might have touched you somewhat emotionally. I could feel my heart, and it really touches me. That message, for some reason, it's beautiful. Hope. Oh my God. So maybe you've just gone through a time of despair, or hard time. So it's just reassuring. Hey, Louise, good to see you. Hey, James, happy holidays. Good to see you. Thank you for shining your light. Thank you all for shining your light at the Temple of the Sun, and wherever you're finding me. All right, Conchetta, conscious spirit. Conchetta. Quick message for Conchetta. Conscious. What is, okay, this one's really kind of pushing out, so we'll go with this one. Conchetta, we got 76. Graduation, Earth, future. So the timeline affecting you. Oh, I thought it was conscious. Forget it. It was a galactic. I pulled you a galactic card. Graduation, Earth in the future. So to me, you are graduating, and you know how I always say that you guys are all stepping into your mastery. Well, the timeline that is affecting you, or galactically, another you, another experience, another journey, another piece of you, is Earth in the future. So graduating. So you are really, really partaking in this Earth transformation to graduate to that new dawn. Like a Susan's card, or a new dawn, that time of peace, that age of Aquarius. You are a huge component in your soul and your journey to do with the Earth's graduation into this new world, without fear, without the restrictions of the linear concept, experiencing Earth more abundantly. Future. Yeah, key component in the graduation of Earth. Let me see here what it says. 76, 14, 13, 4. So building new foundations, a new base, helping to create that new 14. So it's 13, right? 13 is a 4. Creating that new foundation, that new base for the new world. a key component in that. And how do we do that? Like, that sounds so grandiose, like, but we do that in our own life. So as you graduate something in your own life, as you have learned all that you are, and you've ended a journey and you're entering now a new cycle, Conchetta, right? That's what I'm on. You create that in your world. So you literally shift to the world that is graduated, that future earth, that peaceful earth. So sometimes when we hear, oh, we're a big player in this new earth, well, we really, really are, because only our world is real to us. So as you graduate and you allow yourself to go through the cycles, you graduate, you shift to that you on that future earth. It's getting dark in here. 76. Hold on here. Just see what the card says. So yeah, you're graduating and you're shifting. A cycle, something in your world, something that you completed, you've mastered it. So now you're going on to something else. 76. Earth's history has been fraught with struggles, hatred, and fear. The underlying purpose of this was to serve as training for species evolution. It hasn't been easy. From the point of view of the future, humanity has succeeded in experienced the graduation as a species. That is hard to see now, but please trust that everything on earth is happening for a reason. You and many others are connected to the humans from the future. So you definitely are, Conchetta. And you're gently guiding the planet toward this graduation. As you connect with your higher self and you do your spiritual work, you uplift the community. And you uplift yourself, mostly. You raise your frequency, you open up, you clear space, so you resonate to the new earth, and then you shift to that. All right, Conchetta, who's up next? You're welcome. All right, so if you guys share it out, let me know. Tino, are you still there? You want a quickie, Tino? I've been working. Yeah, I can tell that, Conchetta, because a graduate, whether it be high school or college or master, getting your master degree or something, it's showing me that you have worked really, really hard, and you've done the work, and you've taken the journey, and you are graduating, and you are ready now for that next cycle. It's freeing. It's an out breath. They're saying it's an out breath. It's I'm done. It's like, God, I've been there. You're happy you took the journey, but you wouldn't want to do it again. That's what I'm feeling. You did it. You wouldn't want to do it again. You're glad you did it, but you wouldn't want to do it again. But it's bringing forth a greater expression of you. Hey, Lauren. All right. So Tino, I don't know if you're still there. I did pull you a card with you in mind as I was shuffling, and this popped out. Okay, I'll pull you one, Lauren. Tino, you got 40 at day's end. Rest. I find peace in nature and rest my body and mind in order to connect to spirit. So Tino, this is looking like you've worked really hard and you might be feeling a little exhausted. So it's about just shutting your eyes and connecting with the nature of who you are, your natural self, without all of the expectations, obligations, everything you see on the outside world. It's a time to go within and just relax and to connect and to nurture yourself, Tino. And maybe, go outside in the woods, go for a walk, just connecting with whatever nature is for you. Maybe you want to go to or I know your college is on the ocean. Maybe just go sit for a second and bundle up and connect to the ocean, connect to the air, connect to that wind. So it's 40 at a day's end, then a day's end. So hold on here, Tina. Let me just read what 40 says. Tina wants to come on sometime and do readings with me live. All right, Tino, this is yours. I find peace in nature and rest my body and mind in order to connect to spirit. This card is a reminder that rest is a necessary part of life as work is. Your body and my mind need more time off from the hectic pace of life. So you're probably coming up on college vacation, right? Whether you take an hour off during the day to recharge your batteries or a week off from work, you need to do this. By running on empty, you're unable to put 100% into your work and life. Eventually, your body will manifest symptoms of disease to force you to take a break. So don't let yourself get in the stage. Recognize and respect what your body needs. If you're feeling like you need a quick little cat nap, take one. Time off in nature is extremely beneficial to recharge and re-energize your body and mind. Create a tranquil sitting area under a tree in your garden, even in your room. Create a little spot in your room and spend a peaceful hour sitting grounded to Mother Earth. Watch each evening, instead of sitting in front of the TV or computer, just connect. And when it's cold and whatever, you can always just connect to some piece of Mother Earth that you're connected to, a rock, a stone, a shell, a crystal, that kind of thing. It is only when you step away from your life that you can truly see your own accomplishments. So it's just about taking a step back and just kind of resting and respecting what your body needs in the moment and not pushing yourself. I shared this. Okay, James, I'm going to do one for you. I don't know. I'm feeling a galactic one for you, James. Thank you so much, James. You're so beautiful. I appreciate your sharing. I appreciate your light. I always feel it when you're on my lives or even when you comment after. Again, it goes back to no linear time. If I see a comment and you said something, it's very energizing. You have so much light to impart, to share, to spread. All right. So the galactic card for you, James, is long-term goals, Sirius, past. So you are working with a timeline of the Sirius, and it's 45, which to me is ending a cycle, ending something and starting something new. So long-term goals, you're working with the Sirius system, and your timeline, it's something to do with the past affecting you now. So it's supporting you now. Whatever your goals are now, it's based on that timeline that is benefiting you now. But let me just go to it and see what it says. 45. All right, where'd my glasses go? On my head? No, on my eyes? Holy crap, no. Sit on them. All right, so this is for James. 45. The long-term goals of the Syrians lasted for generations and spanned thousands of Earth years. This required extreme focus, discipline, and dedication. Many people who had Syrian lifetimes still retain this ability to focus and carry out long-term projects. So I'm believing this is how it's pertaining to you, James. Use this pattern as a skill that can benefit you greatly in this life. So yeah, you're connected. That energy of that timeline is really supporting you now as you accomplish or focus and discipline, achieving goals, whatever you want to bring to fruition, especially in regard to your spiritual development. If you have difficulty completing long-term goals, then seek out ways to move beyond this resistance. An ability to be focused and disciplined in spiritual growth is essential. Let your Syrian forefathers guide you. So yeah, I believe that is a piece of you, and that's helping you in this timeline. And maybe if you feel a resistance to the discipline and goals, just not resist. Just go with the flow and be present in the moment as you work towards. I'm feeling it's spiritual development for you because I know you're very spiritually evolved. And so it's to do with, I think, your spirituality, because after all, it's the spirituality also that creates that 3D experience as well. So yeah, so call upon the Syrian forefathers. So it's focus, discipline, and goals, long-term goals. So not looking at the little picture, looking at the big picture for you, James. The big picture. Not getting caught up in the minute details, I believe, or what you see before you, but seeing the higher perspective, the bigger picture. Yes, it's a 9. A 9 is usually a completion to a beginning, right? An ending, wrapping up of a cycle to enter new. So a new spiritual world, awareness, consciousness. So you're part of building and creating through your discipline and focus and your awareness and your commenting and your own what you do in your private and personal is part of this spiritual transformation. All right, Lauren, I will pull you a galactic. I have been growing for today. Yeah, sometimes it can seem tiring. Like sometimes I know when you have long-term goals or you have big ideas, sometimes it can seem daunting. It can seem daunting, and it can seem like, will I ever get there? Or is it ever going to happen? So not to focus on the end game, but focus focus on the end game, but don't focus on the linearity of it, I guess is what I want to say. The overall picture, not on how long it's taken, but the results of already being there and having discipline in every moment to do whatever it is this is pertaining to for you in every moment, reaching for that, that which supports your goal, not take away from it, but gives to it. So someone who's spiritually evolving is going to find the higher perspective. They're going to try to face and work through the fears. They're going to work through the balancing. They're going to meditate. They're going to tune into their connect with their higher self. They might give up something to be disciplined and nurture what they want to do spiritually or whatever it is for you. Like sometimes I debate, am I going to go do some card readings? Am I going to go give a message or should I not? And there's always times for everything in life, and don't force yourself because that's resisting. If you don't feel like it, sometimes, you watch yourself where your resistance is. So that usually will show up when you think you have to do something because you're resisting what you really want to do. All right. For you, Lauren, you got blind enthusiasm, Pleiades, the past. So the energy that's really being brought forth into your consciousness now is the past Pleiades timeline of blind enthusiasm, number 42, which is a 6. And I'm going to read from the book what exactly. So strong connection to Pleiades, and that's what's really supporting you in your transformation now and in your goals, Lauren. And what it is a habitual pattern of the Pleiadians when they were a young species was to become very excited about an idea and implement it without thinking it through. What are the far-reaching implications of these actions? Who benefits and who is hurt? Take a look at the times when you may have done this in your current life. In the eyes of the universe, there are no mistakes. However, everyone has a responsibility to see beyond their own excitement and try to make conscious choices that support the whole rather than simply the ego's desires. So you could be having a struggle with blind enthusiasm, that child part of you that just wants to believe and hop into something. And you might be struggled with maybe a little more of the intellect and the logical, trying to find that balance based on a timeline where it was all one way and not the other. Maybe in that timeline, it was all blind enthusiasm, and maybe it seemed, even though there's no mistakes, it affected the whole, not in the way that you wanted. So you might be a little more cautious on this timeline, Lauren, about having that blind enthusiasm and just jumping and going for it. So for you, I believe there's a balance, and that's represented also by the 46 or the 42, which is a 6, finding that balance, equilibrium, and harmony in the choices that you make, allowing the logic part work with the heart and that childlike and that enthusiasm and that passion. Conscious choices. Yes, that's a good word. Actually, a conscious choice. And a conscious choice weighs out and respects the physical part, what is needed physically, and that what the heart and the spirit want. So it's about weighing out both. It's about unifying the spiritual with the physical. If we are just spirit and just heart orientated, we could get into some trouble because we still need to respect the physical, collective game that we've created. The physical, I hate saying laws, but the physical laws. I go too far in the other direction. I never jump into things anymore. I go too far in the other direction. Yeah. So for you, it's about finding that balance between the logic and the heart, taking a chance, trusting, believing, having faith, but having it settle with your mind and settle with your heart. So you can make a logical decision, but still having that child be excited about it. The spirit. Yes, the end. It's not the end, but the beginning. Thank you, James. It's not about the end, it's about the beginning. And it's always a new beginning. It's always a beginning, a beginning, a beginning. What's it a beginning of? It's a beginning. It's a beginning. Thank you, James. That is so insightful, because there is really no end. Life is eternal. So it's about the goal of every beginning. To me, it's about putting, this is regarding James, it's about putting yourself entirely in every new beginning, your focus, your discipline into the now and what you're doing now, not worrying about the end, because the end never comes. Oh my God, James, that is really good. Really good. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Anybody else that oh, Louise, are you still there, Louise? I am feeling a conscious, Louise, one for Louise. I don't know if she's still there, but I guess it won't hurt us or the collective to have one more message. Not sure if Louise is still there. Yeah, and as far as yours goes, Lauren, yeah, I would tend to be let my heart follow, disregard logic. So I've learned the hard way to balance. Hey, okay, Louise. Thank you. Thank you for sharing out, Louise. All right, so let's see. What energy, what is in her consciousness now, the supporting her in her transformation and her new beginnings? You got Crystal Ascension, Louise, 37. That's a 10. That's literally stepping into that new beginning that we were just talking about. Every moment is a new beginning. It's a clean slate. It's not about the end. It's about giving yourself all to that new beginning completely without worrying about the end, because the end never comes. It's about that beginning. Well, the end doesn't necessarily come in the way that you think. It says, I'm attuned to the universal wisdom and energy of the crystal kingdom. So maybe you work with rocks and crystals as a ways to support your energy, clear energy. Nothing outside of us has power over us. They're simply tools that help us to connect to our own energy from the outside, allowing it to be our space holder, allowing it to be our clearer, or allowing it to amplify our higher frequencies. But it's basically, it's a tool, and it's a tool helping you work with your own energy. And it sounds like crystals would be very beneficial for you. And also, this message also could be for you to know you are your own crystal. You are your own diamond through your experience and through your life and what you're allowing in every beginning, and living with arms wide open and releasing resistance and resisting and allowing the fears to flow through you and the emotions. You become your own crystal as well, Louise. You are your own crystal. You're your own diamond. Allowing yourself to transform through everything that is limiting you, through embracing it, through allowing the emotions to flow through you. So I'm attuned to the universal wisdom and energy of the crystal kingdom. I can read that real quick. 37. I'm getting hot. All right. 5:36. I love to do what Spirit's like speaking to me intuitively, and then I love following up with readings, because I just love how in sync everything always is. All right. You are being asked, Louise, to bring crystals and minerals into your personal environment. Your current environment contains too much artificial energy from material possessions, cell phones, computers, microwaves, which can cause an imbalance in both your body's energy field as well as the energy within and around your home. In workspace, crystals contain the Earth's natural energy fields as well as stored wisdom, which they have accumulated through centuries of being on this planet. Intuitively select one or more crystals to carry with you and to wear with you at all times, and others to place around your home and workspace. These will not only balance your energy, but bring you into greater alignment with Mother Earth's natural energy fields. If you feel an especially strong connection with this card, include crystals in your meditations, books, or courses will give you a basis for understanding of crystals, but your own heart-centered intuitive work with crystals will give you greater insight into their uses. So it's asking you to work with the natural elements, attuning them to your own heart, using your intuition, maybe getting a crystal that you're drawn to, not having to understand it all from the mind, but allowing your intuition and the crystals and the natural elements to work with your natural state. All right. Thank you, Louise. Logic is always something to uphold. We are in the flesh sacks, governed by logic. We are of the soul, and logic can be upheld. Life is a contradiction. Yeah, it is. It's always a paradox. So it needs balancing in order to enjoy. Absolutely. And we came into these, as James said, what'd you call them? Flesh sacks. um, Bodies to enjoy the sensual part, to go through all of it. And what a beautiful playing ground for the spirit to take all these theories, to take these ideas, to take all that energy, and to have it contained, and to play it out, and to work through the densities, to discover our power, to connect with our power, to see our magic release, to see who we are unveiled through our physical world. So we have to work with certain limitations, even though we're here to release the limitations. Go figure. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate all of you. I have been overly responsible, thinking that it will pay off in the long run. The only thing is that it hasn't. Yeah. And what are you basing that on? Who says it's not paying off? Maybe you're placing a certain expectation. It always pays off if you're following what you feel you should be, and you're following your own guidance. It's paying off. Just sometimes things don't pay off in the way that we want them to pay off, say like a business or financially or any of that, because we have these certain physical ideas, and we want to be masters of our trade. We want to see the physical affirmation and giving of what we give, but sometimes we limit ourselves in that. But we got to trust that when we're guided to do something, and whatever we do, there are no mistakes, and it really is all still paying off, Lauren, just not maybe in the way that we wanted it to, because I can relate to that in so many areas. Gotta let it all go. It's almost like releasing expectations and learning to tune into your joy factor. What brings you happiness? What brings you joy? And how can it benefit others? You're being of service to others through servicing what makes you happy, Lauren. What brings you joy? And maybe that might not be the way to earn the money, but that will open up doors for you to earn the money, or other avenues that you weren't expecting. Your joy will open up and spark doors and opportunities that are paying off in a different way. I'm trying to build up credit and paid things off completely for a year, and then I get denied because who cares? Let it go. Who cares? Just let it go. Like, just do you the best that you can in every moment. No, every moment's a new beginning. And as far as credit and all of this kind of other stuff goes, a lot of that is just, it's gonna be broken down. The world isn't going to be operating in the way that it always was. And people actually, and I know you don't have bad credit, but there are opportunities for people with bad credit. So I don't know. I think the focus is too much on the outside in that. Yeah, don't waste your time on stuff that you can't do anything about. Like, the system, the man, they're going to be there. And just let them be there, but focus on this. What makes you happy? What drives you, Lauren? What excites you? And I know your logic, you're very methodical, logical, work orientated. How you'll figure out how to apply it in a concrete way. I'm not worried about that. You also want to become a hairless poodle. Well, if that excites you, I don't know. I doubt that it really, really excites you. By the way, your haircut looks great. Speaking of hair. All right, guys. All right. May you all shine with the entirety of all the love and light that you are.